Alright, and we are back. There we go. Had to connect and reconnect. Let's give a thumbs up to the chat. This has been the longest starting process that I've ever had to do. Okay, so that means I gotta hurry up now with this piece. Hey, what's up, welcome. So today is my lucky day of troubleshooting my stream like a million times to finally get to draw a bit. Might be a shorter stream than I'm usual in terms of the drawing. Might just do the outline, call it a night. I do have to wake up early tomorrow, but I just didn't want to go the whole day without doing a stream because I just got a new camera and a new setup and a whole bunch of things that I've been working on. So I'm just excited to put everything to the test and to make sure that everything's working as it should. Okay, bring this down a little bit. A little bit too much. That's good. Boom. I think it looks better up here. Or down here. Yeah, I think down here looks good. Just because I feel like I lean more to drawing in the corner here. Boom, 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 boom. Where's Victor? So yeah. I always say that I'm going to do an early stream, but for some reason, it just never happens. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do a stream at 6 o'clock. I'll do a stream before afternoon, before 12. Never happens. But the important part is that I do get to draw sometimes, and most times, but there's too much going on. I can never concentrate enough to sit down and draw. Oh well, online. This is the last piece that I'm doing in this theme. I feel like I've stuck with it for a bit longer than I'm used to. I'm drawing a piece. Well, I'm pretty proud of myself because I feel like this has been a series, a Super Bowl series. And then might just have fun. Well, not that this is not fun, but I want to do something that I've been wanting to do. For a little while. This thing because wait for to hear myself before I speak. To have this listening to the mic to make sure that if it turns off, I know that it turns off. So yeah, today's the first time that I'm streaming in 4 platforms. I don't know the benefits of this, but you can only find out if you try. Today was the first day I worked out in like 2 weeks. So it was a good, healthy day for me overall. And I just watched Robo Pencil that he's back on making stream, which I'm excited about because that's what I used to watch all the time when I wanted to hear somebody like with feedback, positive feedback, and talking about interesting things when it comes to the art world. And he's finally back. He just did a stream not too long ago, and I have to watch that later. And I haven't been watching a lot of streamers. Another guy that I watch is Nico. He does speed chart. He does 3D models, which is something that I enjoy doing, so I might do a stream here and there, modeling something. And that's something, the topic that I've been doing for 3D modeling has been Dragon Ball Z characters, and someone just left me a comment saying that they haven't seen many people do that. I was the first person he's seen doing a Dragon Ball Z character on Nomad's Cult. So that's pretty cool. I'm someone's first at something. And I want to keep that going because I feel like that series for me was a bit successful when it came to YouTube. And I don't know if it was because I was showing my hands or because of the models, because the models were okay, but people love seeing finger drawings, I guess, like the hand drawing, which I might put another camera in the future. Showing my hands again. Yeah. I think it'll be pretty cool to see my hand. Let me see something. Yeah, I'll do that on next. This is my impulsive brain. It just takes over and I'm like, oh yeah, I can just do it right now. But yeah, it's good to put ideas in the back burner and just let them marinate. But I like to do things too quick sometimes. Let the brain process that idea. And yeah, so if you haven't followed me, feel free to follow me. I'm excited to be sharing my work once again after a long time of just drawing for myself, just hiding out and not sharing my thoughts or work or anything. Feel free to follow me on the socials, which I am horrible because I don't have well, just go to my links and you'll find other socials or different ways I post my work. Usually the streamers have it here, I know, but I'm learning this gig. Yeah. Only have the drawing and talking thing, which is what I love doing. And it's funny because I do have the banners made. I just feel like some of them are not accurate since I lost my Instagram, and I'm just getting back into it. So to tell you a little bit about myself, not about myself, but my art, I do a little bit of everything. I enjoy sketching the most, and one of my goals is to create my own comics, as many artists always say. Oh, I'm working on my comic. It's a never-ending project. I also do 3D modeling, animation, claymation. Not that I will do claymation on live or on a video in a long time. Maybe if I'm asked to for like a commission project and whatnot. I just enjoy creating things overall. I think doing watercolor would be interesting. I feel like I would love to make more watercolor pieces. I just went to a show here in Arizona, and in Tucson to be exact, and they had a watercolor exhibition, which I was very impressed by. That it was really cool that these older ladies, they had a show, and I was blown away by how beautiful and effortless it looked, the piece, because watercolor, one of the complications is like you can't layer too many things one on top of the other. But once you put your first brush, you have to be somewhat precise. You have to be a little bit carefree, because if you just may become too rigid, you can sort of feel that in the work. And I just thought that their work was so like free and effortless, and then my wife was like, "Oh, I just brought you just so you can get inspired." And that I did, man. Like, I just remember how like making art is not only about like what's happening right now, but in their pieces they capture like nature, a goat climbing some mountains, birds, a cactus. And I've been so stuck in drawing characters and portraits. Nothing wrong with that, but I just feel like sometimes if we don't breathe and go visit something else that maybe at the moment is not our interest, we don't broaden our horizons, which I think is really important as an artist. To always feed yourself something interesting, something that you may not think you would enjoy. Because in this world of anime superheroes that we live in, I feel like some of those classical artists have been pushed aside, and I think it was very refreshing. So go out into your local art shows and support the artists. And I was so proud of one of the ladies. She sold a $600 piece. I was like, wow, very nice. You know, as a digital artist, I forget that people buy art. You know, there was a time that I was having shows. I would print my digitals and like printed like maybe 4 pieces in large canvases. Well, it was a 2x4 piece of wood, and I just laid the piece on top of it it's like a printed on a sticker paper or vinyl. That's what they call it, vinyl. Actually, no, I worked at a print shop, but I just the words escaped me. And yeah, I enjoyed the whole energy of being in a show. It's just so much it felt weird, because not for nothing, but it just felt a little bit overwhelming. Oh my god, your work's so great. Your work is so great. And it just felt like empty at one point. Like, oh yeah, it's so great. But here I am. Inside of me, I'm like, this sucks, that sucks. Because as an artist, you're always improving, and your last piece, it's your best piece until the next one comes. And that's one thing that hey, what up, Lewis? That as an artist, I struggle with a lot, is that whole thing of thinking that you're ready for the chapter, and then the whole thing of overthinking comes in, and there you go and here I go on a loop, thinking that my work is not good enough, and then people want to pay me for things, and I'm like, why would you pay me? Blah blah blah. Yeah, that's the my eternal struggle with art. But I do value my work, you know, I enjoy it. There's times that I'm like, oh, this sucks. But my favorite thing is the making of the art. Like, sometimes when it's finished, I don't care for it. I just love making it. How you been, Lewis? And yeah, this piece, it's been fun. So far, it's gotten me out of my bubble, and it's put me back onto streaming and drawing for fun. I'm not like, I do work a lot in commissions and things. And they're cool, but they're done once they're done. You know? With this, I feel like I want to keep making cool pieces that I can maybe create posters of. Excited. Oh yeah, congratulations. Hey, if you want to request me, maybe we could talk online. Maybe that'll be, I don't know how to do that. But if you don't want to, it's fine. I just don't know how to request people. Here. What are you said you're going to be working at a bank now? Nice. So no more late nights for you, huh? That's good, man. Congrats. It's always good to have a change of scenery and a change of pace. I should know, right? What are you gonna be doing now? What are you gonna be doing at the bank? No, just that, there's this lifestyle that people have been living for a long time, which is a good question, like why do we move so much? So for those watching, Lewis is my friend who I grew up with, my boy from childhood, and we grew up together in New York. And 2019, I think, my wife and I, we moved to Delaware, and ever since then we saw that it is possible to move and to start your life somewhere. Yeah, sort of like the nomad life. That's what we are trying out, and it's a little uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie. Like, moving is uncomfortable, but once you settle in and you start feeling comfortable, it starts to feel, put on the heater. It feels good, man. Like, it just feels good to be around different people, to see different culture. And I'm gonna start sharing more videos. Like, I'm gonna start making vlogs about our past travels, sort of like a storytelling channel. And that channel is my personal channel, is Chanko P 911 on YouTube. And yeah, so we're gonna be sharing about like our living in Costa Rica, sharing about our visits to Ethiopia, Egypt, Cuba. I'm excited to share, like, because it feels like we just started doing this, but we've been traveling for a long time. But now Amira had an idea to, instead of just visiting a place, about living in a place and really taking in the culture and learning about different places. It's easier to do it here in America because this is where we grew up in, and we don't have to think too hard about work. When we were out in Costa Rica, work was always online, because we didn't want to come in and also take like local jobs from people. Although we did work, I also did like physical work over there, which was like teaching children how to do parkour, how to do capoeira. But no one was doing that out there, so I was like, I might as well teach it since I enjoyed doing it. But yeah, man, no, we didn't kill anybody. My brother says the same thing. So it's like, oh, you guys are always running. But that's what it's, we're explorers. Modern day explorers. The hardest part about moving is finding your rhythm again. Especially me, I'm a person of habit, and if my habits are like interrupted, it takes me a little while before I fall back into my habits. Yeah, so as I'm traveling now, I feel like I need to socialize, and my socialization would be through the internet. I mean, there's people here, but until I feel acquainted and go out and meet people, but it's like my social life would be a little bit here. I get to talk about whatever, but whatever I want and get feedback and yeah, keep exploring and growing as a person, as an artist. This is for the long run. This is my goal. You online on Instagram? Yeah. So today I'm the first time that I'm streaming in 4 different platforms, and it's just to see like how it feels. I've been trying to do this for a long time, to stream on many platforms at the same time, and I finally figured it out. I'm like, how do people stream here? Yeah, I want to explore. And today my phone camera, I've been recording with my phone. My phone stopped working. I'm like, I'm not gonna let that stop me. So I went out and I bought a little webcam, and it feels much better than the phone because I can move my phone and the camera doesn't change. And sometimes I would be recording with the phone, and I can also browse on the phone at the same time. A bit of a MacGyver techie guy. But yeah, man, it's this is my phase of exploring, bro. But this stream today, it crashed. So many things have happened already, and I'm like, I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep going. This is to test me, to see how bad I want this, and this is my hurdles that I'm overcoming. It crashed, then the audio wasn't working, the music wasn't working, and I just gotta delete that mistake, keep it moving. Just a regular Monday. So the most views right now, I'm getting them from YouTube. And it's because YouTube have not the most followers, but for some reason my lives have been getting a lot of traction. And by a lot, I mean 85 views is a lot for me. And but in terms of like short videos, TikTok has been doing pretty good. I mean, the short content always gets views on YouTube. But now my longer videos, these streams are getting to like 60, 70. So, before I used to be really obsessed, and upset that some of my videos weren't getting to the 100 in a week. So I'll stop. I'm like, I put all this work into editing a video. No one watches it. So right now I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep going. I don't care if anyone watches or not. For me right now, it's all about documenting like the stage of life that I'm living. I just want to have fun, share, and if I could, teach something, I can do that. But at the same time, just like, you know what? I don't want to stress about anything. Although I do. But I'm just going with the flow and just making the best thing I can, because you say, oh, I don't care. Well, sometimes I say I don't care about this. But if I didn't care, I wouldn't do it. And if I didn't care, I wouldn't make it good, So I work on my titles. I'm working on thumbnails. I'm not too crazy about the thumbnails. I just grab maybe sometimes a finished piece and put a word on it and then call it a day. But everything's a work in process. Keep going, and one day it'll reach its audience. Yeah. And that's what happened once before. That I was making things, and then after a while people caught on to it, and some guy was like, hey, you were doing this before, but you stopped, and I was following you then. And I was like, sometimes you think no one's watching, and that discourages you. But, persistency is key, consistency. There was somebody that reached out to me the other day, well, a little while ago, and they were like, you still doing art? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Just because I don't post doesn't mean I don't do it. But people don't know that, right? So when you stop doing something, everybody just assumes that you don't do it anymore. Yeah, and I'm learning about like how to maximize my streams. Because in TikTok you can cut shorts, and YouTube you can cut highlights from the stream. And now I'm learning Twitch, and I'm also want to see how Twitch works, but might stick to YouTube. I'm just testing them all out at once. I'm doing my trials and testing phase. But at the end, I might have one or two to stream and to post pictures in a specific way. So far, the one thing that is okay, but I feel like it could be better, is if I change my times. Like, I've been streaming late nights, but I want to test out like an earlier time too, to see how it works. Right now it's a specific audience, like people who are up late or work late, or people that are in different time zones. So there's some benefits to it too. And this is my time to be one with the world. By the way, let me know if you can hear the music. I have music playing in the background. I've been saying that I'm gonna do a live stream like at 11 in the morning here. Okay, cool. But every time I say that, like, time just flies by, and I take the day. Like, I should take an hour at least to do a stream in the daytime to see how it goes, and that could be sometime soon. But I take my day to work pretty much on clients' work and stuff. Yeah, I just got loaded up with some work that I'm like doing a lot of research for, like creating a website for someone, and it's a lot of work, man, especially when like there's a little bit I wouldn't say old, but different than what I'm used to. I'm used to working with Wix, and this is in WordPress. Probably is simpler than Wix, but yeah, I take my days to pretty much figure out client stuff, email clients, calls. But I should take like at 12 or 11 or even earlier. Because today I woke up and I was like, oh, I want to see who's streaming right now. So I'm studying people doing things, and everyone is like up and running early, man. Like, I was like, whoa. By like over here 9 o'clock is 11 over there. People are streaming, man. Like, with good audience too. But I just watched and studied. like people doing things, and I'm like, okay, that's a good time, early mornings. And the other thing is, like, I want to see if a short stream would do good, but usually what I feel like, it takes a while for people to even know that you're live, and people come and go, which is cool, but I just feel like it's too early sometimes for me to draw. And I make breakfast. I like to take it's a slow morning for me. I don't like to jump into the computer right away when I wake up, especially because I do this late at night. And I make breakfast with my daughter. That's like a morning times. It's like I spend time with her early mornings. But yeah, man. What are you guys gonna do when she needs? So we're looking into homeschooling, and I've already, like school. We have like a lot of educational things. I love teaching. That's one thing, right? Like, I love teaching. So I take mornings to have her read. We do some activities, like today we were doing, and it doesn't feel like school for her, but in my mind, I'm like, you're learning these things. So today I did like I'm making a video actually. I took pictures and recorded some things for YouTube. We like explore the backyard. We have a pretty okay sized backyard, and we started doing like an obstacle course where I put a bunch of pallets on the floor and some bricks so she could practice like walking on balance. We write like letters and numbers on the floor, so we practiced like learning letters. And today we did like this a rope in the middle, and I put numbers on each side. So I'll say 1, she'll jump to this side, and I say 2, she jumps to this side. 3, 4, 5, 6, pretty much even numbers on one side, odd numbers on the other. So I'll say a number and she would jump the rope on either side. And she's having fun, but I'm also teaching her at the same time. We saw a lizard in the back, we saw a spider. So it feels like I'm teaching science and math and letters. So it's already started. It's just that we don't call it school. And Amira also, she looks at like family that are homeschooling, and they do meetups at the parks. So that's the other part, like socializing the children with other children. That's the hardest part when it comes to homeschooling. Yeah, man, it's pretty exciting, but everything's new, and she's 3, so we are sort of going with the flow, but also using all the resources that we have available. And at one point we were very strict with her with the tablet, and I recently just got like gifted like a bunch, like 3 tablets, and 2 of them didn't work. And she had an old iPad mini, and then I got another iPad mini, but newer version, so that one I can install newer apps. So all the apps that I have on my tablet, I put it on that little one, and now no longer does she come to me to tell me, Papa, can I use your tablet? And yeah, so she does that. We have like a Spanish games that we allow her to play, because for some reason she doesn't want to speak that much Spanish. She says English, only English. And yeah, so she's also practicing her Spanish now. you finally saying yes to speaking Spanish. Yeah, man. So it's, the times we live in right now, everything is so unconventional that I'm like, we have to go with it, because also I heard that the president wants to close down the public school system, which I think it's a whoa, but I saw it coming because the way we live, like, you can learn so much on the internet. Like, I've met so many people that have become professional something watching a video or two on the internet, and then they just do it, they get hired, and they are professionals. Like right now, I'm also working as a handyman, and people hire me, and when I get there, they're like, "Oh yeah, we call it professional." I'm like, I actually started doing this. I learned doing at the job, and I was like, okay, but the workforce is changing very quick. And we just have to keep up, man. Like, we have tools that people didn't have back in the day, so the school system is a little outdated. And when the pandemic happened, it showed that people can learn online, and so I wouldn't be surprised if the whole school system shuts down, which sucks for a lot of people, because a lot of us, that's the only thing we had. But again, that was then. Today we have so many different options. But not everyone is capable. Yeah, you're right. Not everyone is capable of learning online. But there could be other methods, like, I'm sure, like, somebody said a joke recently, or like a figure, he says, like, so if there was no teachers, who taught the first teacher? So it's funny that when I hear that, people need structure. Oh yeah, that's very important. Like, one thing that I feel like school tried to teach me was structure, and I wasn't so successful, I feel like, in learning structure. I do say that I do have some, and I'm thankful for school teaching. Like, you could take 7 subjects in one day and learn something. But, also that's a lot. 7 subjects. And how many things would you remember out of 7? I don't know. But I'm trying to implement that rhetoric that the school system had with my life, and it's chaotic. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot. But I'm like, oh, I did it then. I could probably still do it now. Like, I'm right now trying to manage way too much things. In my mind, I think it's a lot of things, but in reality, it feels like I'm handling it well. You don't shut it down though. You change the parts that don't work. Yeah, that's true. I think it's a bit drastic, but like I said, like, people were teaching online, and it was uncomfortable for some people, but it happened, and that was the reality then. And now things have changed, but it became comfortable for some, it became uncomfortable for others. People that know how to use technology, they were having a blast, but those who don't know how to use technology were suffering, trying to troubleshoot things from their house. And I saw, my mother-in-law is a teacher, and she was struggling with computer work, computer tech, but she figured it out. She was up and running in no time, and it worked. She wasn't too happy. She was uncomfortable with it, but it was the system that at that point had to work. You know, if one thing human have, we are very adaptable, and nothing right now surprises me. If like everything just shuts down again, it's wild to think about it even, but we have a point of reference. I feel not the best, but if it happens again, we may know how to do certain things because we've already been through it. The ones that are smart to figure it out, the ones that really need it. Yeah, you're right. It's chaotic. I'm not gonna lie. To even think about it, like school system shutting down fully, pretty chaotic. But people, people that went to school, some people didn't graduate high school, college, or even middle school at one point, and they may become successful people. Is that there's so many other stories that we hear that it pretty much casts over those who didn't need school. You know, if you hear a lot of these millionaires today, like a lot of them didn't graduate high school or college. If one thing that the school system teaches you is that it teaches you to be a worker, and nothing wrong with that. Like it's a system, and it's been running for a while. But there's a new system of like being business owners and being business creators, and you create your own path, and that's the way that I think we're moving towards in a way. It takes a lot more effort, and it's tough, man. Like to be an entrepreneur, it's like a one step away from broke sometimes, and then right when you think all fails is done, like everything's about to fail, like something everything clicks and everything starts moving, and you're all of a sudden like doing your thing. Because I've heard so many stories of people that are homeless or were homeless at one point, or living in their car, and now like they're like big shots, they made it. But is that they sacrifice everything, man. Like and nobody wants to be uncomfortable, but people who have that drive, who have this dream that they want to do this thing so bad, they really push for things, and they really push for change, and their life will change. Because at this point they're like, you know what, I lost everything that I had. I'm not gonna get any lower than this, so from here on everything is up. And I believe in those stories, man. Like you hear these people, like a lot of people may go back to their parents' house, but those who don't go back to their parents' house, like they're like, I'm not gonna go back home until I slay the dragon, or the dragon slays me. And I feel like sometimes that's the courage that we need to make like real change in the world, and to make change that fit some sort of good whatever that I was going somewhere with that. But yeah, it's like going all in or lose while you're at it, or something like that. But they still need form. They still uniform, uneducated, uninformed and uneducated, even if they're successful in terms. Yeah. No, I definitely agree. But me, like I always look at the positive of everything. Like if you're a good plumber and a bad electrician, don't start thinking that you could be an electrician. Stick to plumbing, and you'll be successful. Like if you want to switch it up too quick, or you don't set roots in anything, then you're gonna have a hard time, because you need to create a fame for something. You need to build some sort of backbone, some sort of structure. But like I had a client recently reach out to me, I feel like I do a little bit of everything, which contradicts the point that I just trying to make. Um, because I learn quick, and I'm just like I adapt quick, and I become good at things quick. So to set that right. So right now I've been also doing like a little bit of virtual assistant work, and one of my clients hired me. He was a computer client that I had. I help people with computer problems or whatever. And he reached out because he wanted to look into plumbing school. He's a teacher, but again, the whole threatening of closing down the school system. And I feel like I spent so much time in that phase. It still looks like nothing. The school system is closing. Well, he heard, right? And he started to prep, so he hired me to look for plumbing schools for him. And just, he's preparing for something else. Things may change, who knows? And we have to look at options. But, because he works for a system that he doesn't control, he may not be valuable as many of us. Like we work for something, and one day they say, oh, we don't need you no more, you get laid off. But if you are the one who creates your own job, you will always have work. Let's see. But you still got to know that electricity and water don't mix, even if you're a plumber. Yeah. Let's see. What's your favorite kind of bread? Sourdough or dildo? I don't eat that much bread anymore. I'm trying to stay away from bread because it's sugar blows me. Blows me? Yeah, I get bloated. Nah. But yeah, man. It's an interesting topic, and I feel like it's good to talk about it because these things can happen quick, and before we know, they're like, oh, the world changed again. But I appreciate the joke right in the middle of this whole serious conversation about change and adaptive behavior that we go through. What do you think about the state of the world right now? Like how things are changing. I just saw today. Oh, you running back? Alrighty, bro. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, for sharing, and for sticking around. But yeah, I just saw today. Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say that. Today I saw that the Tesla robots in the what is it called? The manufacturing line. What's it called? When they're assembling things, they have robots already, like on the assembly line. There we go. In an assembly line, just like grabbing pieces and moving them around. And I was like, oh shit, it's about to get real once again. So right now, with the introduction of robots into the workforce, it's nothing new, right? It happens every so often. But when the Industrial Revolution happened, right? Like a lot of people's jobs or lives changed, and right now we're at the brink of another big change. AI is rolled out. We got robots almost about to roll out. So a lot of things are going to change. What do you think about like the introduction of robots into the assembly line, or like handling things physically or with their hands? Looking at how long have I been live. Alright, let's see. I think they should automate everything and train people into other fields. Yeah, that's true. I think that's a good point. They can do it gradually, little by little, but it needs to happen. Slave labor can be done by robots. Yep, that's a very good point. That's the point of living. You know, there's a lot of labor that nobody wants to do, but it pays, right? So because it pays, people do it. You know, and I think the conditions for some factories are insane. But everything's subject to change. I agree with that. But yeah, man, I appreciate again you being here. You are very kind for sticking around. You are good to go, my brother. Have a good one. Appreciate this conversation and for your questions. Alright. That was a fun topic to talk about. State of the world in 2025, the workforce. Said I was gonna be done. Let's see. Okay, so I've been live for an hour. I should do 20 more minutes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me in the chat. How about anything? It's just like I enjoy open forums as I'm drawing. You know, like I could talk about the pencil line and blah 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 blah. But I think being human is more fun and more interesting than, you know, art. I do want to make tutorials and things like that, but I enjoy just drawing and talking, as the title says. Let's get these hands out. Yeah, when AI rolled out, I was like, I stopped making so much art and I was just wanted to see what was happening. And I got frozen in like analysis paralysis. I was like, what's my next step? What's my next step? And while I was sitting down and thinking, like time passed by and like my art production slowed, my business slowed down. And, you know, for me, the world was changing rapidly, but for some people, it didn't affect them at all. Like I went into modern day James, he's an artist, and I was watching his life and I asked him, like, did AI affect you in any way? And he said, not one bit. And I'm like, wow, that's very impressive. Like, he said that it didn't affect him at all. And it's because, you know, when you are in a mindset and like the world could change around you, but only if you allow it. Like if you accept the changes and you take it in and you say, oh yeah, no, that's true. Like it's a horrible change. But for him, like nothing changed. He kept making money. He kept working the companies he worked for. I think he works for Amazon, for Netflix, I think, and a couple of other shows. He's an animator now. He has the students that, you know, kept coming to him. I'm not gonna lie, like a lot of people got affected by it directly, but he didn't get affected, and I think that's very interesting. And my wife always tells me, because I in 2022-ish, I lost my Instagram because I was out of the country, and I put in a VPN and checked in again. Before I knew it, my whole thing was blocked, and I tried to get it back, and I couldn't. So that right there, I was like, oh yeah, no, AI is happening, so I should do other stuff. And one thing with the other combined just made me think that AI stopped me from making art, but it was really me at the end who allowed the changes to change my mindset about things. But the world kept making things that the artist kept drawing, but it was just an emotional attack or emotional damage that people felt, because now we, for a quick second, we're like, oh, we're not needed anymore. But ever since right now, I feel like there's way more artists than there has ever been. Like, I've heard stories about people being engineers, and all of a sudden they change into wanting to learn animation and then become animators. And more than ever, there's accessibility for art. There's way more people making things, even if it's not like for a company, but even selling art for themselves and making paintings and coming up with random things that people will pay for. So only the change would change you, like the world would change you only if you let it. You continue to do your thing in a bubble, and you will be good. You will survive. Has anyone here have been affected by AI, like directly or in a way that you feel like something changing in your life? If not for the better. It's 1:30. Because I have a client that he took an AI class, but he was like, this is not sustainable for me, and he felt like he just needed to learn about it. But it's just like you don't own anything. And my wife also tried to make a book cover using AI, and she was not happy with the results. So there's things that benefits, but in others, like, it's still not able to replace artists fully. Thank you to those who are sticking around, by the way. Appreciate those who are in the life. For some reason, my TikTok says I'm gaming. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, so for tonight, I'm only gonna do the outline, and then probably tomorrow offline I'll be finishing the coloring. And if you want to see the finished piece, feel free to follow me on Instagram. Follow me here on TikTok, and you'll be seeing the final result. little bit smaller. On TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram. I'm figuring out a way to sort of feed different things in different platforms, so it's not like just copy paste. But that's gonna take a little bit of time. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so I'm drawing Samuel Jackson as Uncle Sam, and I've been working on these pieces. Let me just show you real quick. So this is my goal, to just add one more here, boom, and this will be the final one. And then putting that up on Instagram. I might see if I do prints for these things. I used to sell prints before, and I stopped. But I think that would be a good piece to sell, prints of. All right, let's do the hand. Let me know what you guys think in the comments on the chat about this piece. I got 10 more minutes. I'll pause. Usually I do 2-hour streams. Today I'm a little tired, and I gotta wake up early tomorrow. Early, like 8. That's early for me. Okay. Oh yeah, so a random topic that I wanted to talk about too was how overthinking takes away our freedom. You know, like sometimes we get stuck in that path of just questioning every decision that we're making, and it just stops us from doing anything at all. Just up a little bit. Yeah, so my goal right now, because I've gone through it a lot, it's like I overthink sometimes every decision that I'm about to make, and I plan a whole picture in my mind, and it's already a done deal in my head, and it stops me from like moving. So right now these lives are pretty much my way to combat like my overthinking self and allow myself to, you know, grow in another way without the fear of, you know, failure stopping me from making something. And believe me, like every time I'm doing a stream, before I go live, I go through a million breakdowns and back and forth, back and forth. I'm like, is this a good time? Am I gonna get any views? Am I gonna have something to talk about? Is it gonna be boring? And I always appreciate when people comment, you know, like it makes the life more interesting, more engaging. And you know, especially because I'm starting now. Like, oh, why would I do a live to nobody? But there's always people that come through, and I also like to talk about a lot. So I find my way into conversating about random topics. It's like emptying my brain in a way, like just emptying out my thoughts, which it's pretty fun. And then people have something to watch or something to think about the next day. I gotta remember what my goal in life is. You know, like at one point I was like so focused in, I want to be an artist. And then life changed, and then I'm like, my goal in life is to serve, you know, however way I can. Serve people in a way that I enjoy serving. And conversating is a big deal for me, like talking about random topics and inciting thoughts about positive thoughts, I mean, like into people's brain, having fruitful conversations, taking long walks on the beach. But yeah, I want to make this a daily habit. Do a live a day for at least 1 or 2 hours. And I say 2 hours because my skill of finishing a drawing is not that fast yet. But my goal is to get faster and faster and faster, and finish pieces in the live. Like I follow this one artist that he finished, well, 2 artists. One of them does a physical drawing. Well, one of them does a sculptor, and the other one does digital drawing. And they both finished their piece. One of them finishes like in minutes. Like he just watched. I was watching his live, and he did like a 18-minute live. He finished a concept character, and I'm like, whoa, that's so impressive. And I'm not gonna lie, digital painting does save a lot of time because you can just do a stroke, and that takes up half of the canvas. But my line of work right now is sort of like in a comic book area. I have to do my sketches, clean them up, and I enjoy it. I enjoy it very much. You just gotta get quicker at seeing the whole picture and making bolder strokes. I had a good day today. Pretty productive. Hope you all had a good day also. Oh, so this is the other reason why I started doing live streams, because I'll be sitting here drawing and I'll get distracted before I know it. I would have wasted so much time scrolling. I'm like, oh yeah, I just did one line. So the stream also helps me stay on track. Sort of finish the drawings that I started. Because I have people watching. Once. Yeah. Okay. By the way, I also do video game streams every other day. Try to do one day video game, the other day art. You can find my channels in my bio, and then if you wanna watch live streams, you can head to YouTube, and there you can see the other channels linked on the bio. I used to have so much stress before, whenever I would go live, because I would have to, well, also in the beginning. But now I feel so much relaxed, so much more relaxed. And by the way, feel free to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe. Really appreciate that. Some growing channel. Share with a friend who would appreciate this kind of content. Okay, this one is a little bit wide. So yeah, I'm looking for shapes as I'm going. I should really be a little bit more zoomed out. That way it's easier to see certain things. You see better shapes from further. The angle, straight lines, much easier. Okay, it is. Okay, it had said 20 minutes, like 30 minutes ago. I'll just do 5 more minutes. And this time I'll put a timer. Timer on the clock. Oh, about to die. Minutes. Let's see if this thing makes a noise or makes a sound.